The government has been accused of undermining the rule of law by putting pressure on an independent regulator in its action against a legal firm pursuing claims of human rights abuses involving British troops in Iraq. The former deputy leader of the Labour Party, Harriet Harman, has called for the release of any emails that would reveal whether the Ministries of Justice and Defence attempted to influence the Solicitors Regulation Authority (SRA) to act against Lee Day. The human rights firm has been involved in many high-profile cases against British soldiers and has referred a number of them to the controversial Iraq Historic Allegations Team (IHAT), now being wound up. Earlier this year, the firm, two of its senior partners, Martin Day and Sapna Malik, and a junior lawyer, were cleared by the Solicitors' Disciplinary Tribunal of any wrongdoing over claims they had made against British troops. The MOD said it was disappointed with the verdict which, if it had gone the other way, could have been fatal for the firm. Now, in an extraordinary intervention, Harman has written to the Attorney General, Jeremy Wright, claiming that the government's pressure on the Solicitors Regulation Authority to take disciplinary action against Martin Day and Sapna Malik of Lee Day was an action which undermined the rule of law. The SRA's case against Lee Day was launched following the El-Sweety inquiry into claims that British soldiers tortured and murdered Iraqi detainees following the Battle of Danny Boy in 2004. It concluded that the allegations were wholly without foundation, although it did find that 9 Iraqi detainees had been mistreated. Phil Shiner from Public Interest Lawyers, who represented a number of the detainees, was found guilty of 22 charges of misconduct and struck off. The tribunal hearing the case against Lee Day was told that 276 pieces of correspondence were exchanged between the MOD and the SRA. In several, defense ministers urged civil servants to contact the SRA to seek updates on the firm's prosecutions. Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. Phil Shiner, solicitor for several Iraqi civilians, was found guilty of 22 charges of misconduct and was struck off. Photograph. Martin Argles for The Guardian. Senior officials at the authority replied, and its chief executive, Paul Phillip, wrote directly to the Defense Secretary, Sir Michael Fallon, on at least one occasion. In several emails, SRA employees explained to MOD officials that they were unhappy with the way legal services were being regulated.